This is not a drill. A severe flash flood is heading towards the canyon. All personnel move to higher elevation.
Dawn arrives quietly over the wide Arizona desert. A lonely wooden sheriff's station rests beneath the pale morning sky. Sheriff Arthur Miller stands on the porch, looking out across the valley. The soft light of sunrise reveals the calm strength in his face. From the hillside, a lioness slowly walks down toward him. Her steps are silent across the desert sand. Arthur bends gently and rests his hand on her shoulder. The lioness looks up with calm amber eyes. Arthur smiles softly, as if greeting an old friend. From his pocket, he takes a small bottle of heart medicine. A tiny yellow pill rests in the palm of his hand. He swallows it slowly with a sip of water. The station door opens behind him. Deputy David Carter steps outside, watching the quiet moment. He asks Arthur if the medicine will last through the coming storm. Arthur nods calmly, reassuring the young officer. The lioness remains beside him, peaceful and steady. Her eyes briefly glance toward the medicine bottle. Arthur gently brushes his hand across her golden fur.
Did you take your
Warm
heart medicine
desert
this morning,
wind
Arthur?
moves through the open
Worried about
valley.
you out here.
I did, David. Don't you worry, I'm doing just fine. How'd he go?
But dark clouds are already gathering above the horizon. Arthur lifts his eyes toward the changing sky. Thick storm clouds roll slowly across the desert. The lioness lifts her head, sensing the shift in the wind. David turns on the police radio inside the station. Static crackles across the small speaker. A distant emergency broadcast breaks through the noise. The desert wind suddenly grows stronger. Heavy drops of rain begin falling across the sand. The sky darkens rapidly above the valley.
All available units, proceed to Red Rock immediately. Suspect is heavily armed and considered extremely dangerous.
Soon, the rain falls hard across the desert floor. The radio warns of flash floods rushing through the western canyon. Arthur and David quickly prepare to evacuate. They run toward the armored rescue vehicle outside. David pulls open the heavy Bearcat door. Arthur carries a black medical bag toward the vehicle. Nearby, a narrow desert stream begins to swell. Arthur places the medical bag in the rear compartment. The water rises faster along the stream bank. The vehicle shakes slightly as thunder echoes. The medical bag slowly slides across the metal floor. Suddenly, it falls from the vehicle into the rushing water. Arthur turns back in shock. The current pulls the bag downstream. The lioness watches the bag disappear into the flood. Her amber eyes focus with sudden determination. Without hesitation, she leaps into the roaring water. Arthur shouts desperately for her to stop. The floodwater churns like a powerful red river. The bear cat races along the muddy edge of the flood.
Get out of the water! Move to the high ground! Come on, get back here! Oh.
The lioness struggles against the rushing current. Her jaws clamp tightly onto the medical bag strap. Waves crash around her head as she swims. The armored truck drives beside the torrent. Arthur presses his hand against the window. His chest tightens under the pressure of the moment. David focuses on the dangerous terrain ahead. The vehicle moves dangerously close to the rising water. Through Arthur's view, the lioness battles the current. Still, she refuses to release the bag. The water climbs higher along the flood channel. The bear cat carefully enters the flooded ground. Arthur moves toward the heavy rear door. He struggles to push it open against the water pressure. The lioness swims closer to the vehicle. Her front paws grab the edge of the open door. Her claws grip tightly against the metal surface. Arthur reaches out his hand toward her. The bag strap slips into Arthur's grasp. The lioness releases the bag and pushes forward. Arthur pulls the exhausted animal inside. The heavy armored door slams shut behind them. The rushing water is finally sealed outside. Arthur clutches the soaked medical bag tightly. The lioness lies quietly, breathing deeply. David glances through the mirror behind him. The bear cat climbs slowly through the floodwater. Arthur places the bag carefully on the floor. His hands tremble slightly as he opens it. Arthur leans forward and looks inside. tiny lion cub lies hidden within the bag. Arthur freezes in complete surprise. The mother lioness lifts her head toward the cub. The small cub breathes softly. Arthur gently dries the cub with a cloth. The cub slowly opens its small eyes. The lioness carefully licks the cub's head. The bear cat reaches higher ground on a desert hill. Arthur suddenly remembers something from long ago. Years earlier, he rescued this same lioness as a lost cub. The vehicle continues across the quiet rain. David steers the truck to the top of the hill. Arthur holds the bag gently in his arms. The small cub begins to look around curiously. The mother lioness lies beside her newborn. The vehicle finally reaches the hilltop. Arthur takes another calm breath and his medicine. He rests his hand gently on the lioness' shoulder. The rain slowly fades across the desert. Golden sunlight breaks through the clouds. Arthur opens the heavy door of the bearcat. The lioness steps down onto the wet desert ground. The tiny cub follows carefully behind her. Both animals pause together on the hill. The cub turns and looks back toward Arthur. Arthur smiles softly in the warm sunlight. The lioness and her cub look back one final time. Slowly they walk down into the wide desert valley. Arthur and David stand quietly beside their vehicle, and the desert returns to silence after the storm. This video represents original authorial work. The creator develops the concept, structures the story, shapes the emotional flow, selects the final scenes, and completes the editorial process. AI may be used only as a supporting production tool where appropriate. This content is not uploaded in bulk, not repetitive by design, and not intended as low-effort automated media. It is a human-shaped creative production built to deliver narrative value, emotional depth, and educational awareness around animal rescue themes.